Hello everyone, my name is Elsa. I'm 8 years old, and today, have you ever thought of going to Mars to set up a new home? No? Then I'm here to help you. You need a multi-billion-dollar rocket and a lot of food too. And many tanks of oxygen, of course, you'll need that. And lastly, you need water. You will definitely need that. So, what sort of real estate are you looking for? How about a mansion in a crater in Mars? Or next, you could have a lookout in the Happy Face crater. Or you could find a crater that's a face, that is like a balcony for your house. So, an ocean view? No, you're 4 million years late. So, you should get a pretty good view after you know that. So, there's probably still some water, but some of them froze or evaporated in the solar system, right? Scientists believe that millions of years ago, Mars had oceans, lakes, and ice too. But some of them, as I said, they froze, or some of them even maybe evaporated into space, right? But there are still some water trapped under the ice and expanding big carbon dioxide ice caps. They're still moving on Mars, of course. So that's of course, you know that if Mars had water today, how would it look like? So it might look like this. Can you imagine Mars? Half of it in the southern hemisphere is a rusty and dry place. But instead, in the northern hemisphere, a lot of water. How can you think of that? Because the northern hemisphere is totally flat. And so the water will easily melt down and make an ocean. So that's a whole ocean place. So what about the southern hemisphere? The southern hemisphere is still remaining high level and dry forever. If we say that's true. It has a lot of craters. And I believe that scientists think that if Mars has a lot of craters in the southern hemisphere is totally much older than the northern hemisphere, right? So the more craters it has, the more older it is. So what about Mars? If you try to go to Mars, you probably see a giant red desert. So what does that mean? Red desert. Why is a desert red? Because there are some winds and dust storms. So they will make the iron particles in the sand fly across the air. That's what makes Mars the red planet. Isn't that so cool? So if you're looking for a high peak, no thanks. You're not gonna look for anywhere else because you have nowhere further to go. Because this is Olympus Mons, the largest volcano in the solar system. But I'll tell you, even Mars has a breathable atmosphere. You'll find it has a 25-kilometer summit, breathtaking. Or are other volcanoes not your thing? Then how about Valles Marineris, the largest canyon in solar system? It's so wide that it's from one side, the opposite the opposite, the opposite rim would be below the curve of the horizon. Still, you would get spectacular blue sunsets. You get spectacular blue sunsets in the light. So, if you're looking for a home on Mars, you get to get prepared for all of these things, and it helps you learn a fat lot of things about Mars. I'll see you again. Goodbye.